Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go out to Hollywood, USA, where they make all them moving pictures, and talk to Michael Snyder and find out which ones suck and which ones don't. Hello, Michael.
Hi, Alex, and boy, this is a perfect episode for that, because we've got some good stuff and we've got one case of serious suckage. By the way, happy Thanksgiving. We're a little early this week for the holiday, but I hope you and yours are having a great time. Let's kick things off with Ralph Breaks the Internet, a clever, funny, beautifully animated, and dutifully sweet-natured sequel to Wreck-It Ralph, one of my favorite Disney movies since the company acquired Pixar and then decided to expand their own computer animation unit. Of course, it brings back the sterling voice actors John C. Reilly and Sarah Silverman as reformed video game villain Ralph and his best friend, the sprightly video game race car driver, Vanellope von Schweetz. And for better or worse, Wreck-It Ralph 2, if you will, is also timely and topical. Its use of familiar online brands as setup and backdrop and plot device can feel like crass product placement, much like the technique came off in the movie adaptation of the gamer-themed young adult novel Ready Player One, because Ralph and Vanellope go to the internet and see a lot of famous brands and famous websites that they get embroiled in. But Ralph is a much better movie than that Spielberg misfire. Here, Ralph and Vanellope are in a rut and complacent in their lives as attractions in an old-school arcade until the owner of the establishment installs Wi-Fi. A patron breaks the steering control on the game Sugar Rush, which is where Vanellope runs her races, and that might leave this top racer homeless if the game is permanently disabled. The company that makes the game is out of business, but Vanellope and Ralph learn that the wheel is still available on eBay, so they take the perilous journey into the internet to buy it for the arcade and save the game from being trashed. Action and comedy ensue, a lot of gags about renowned online companies, and an inventive, self-aware, and extremely funny sequence that allows Vanellope to meet and interact with the pantheon of Disney animated princesses. But when Ralph and Vanellope find themselves in a well-realized approximation of a Grand Theft Auto-style game, complete with scary types and treacherous hazards, and a fast and furious racer named Shank, who is voiced by Gal Gadot, all hell breaks loose. It's a world of speed and danger, and Vanellope starts wondering whether her candy-colored Sugar Rush background is worthy of her, and this threatens her mission and the friendship with Ralph. Great fun. Vanellope again offers a winning platform for no-holds-barred comedian Silverman in a kinder and gentler mode. My only caveat is that the up-to-date references could well become dated over time, like the ones in the Shrek movies. Still, this is some good stuff. Okay, moving on. Creed 2 is another sequel, one that manages to rise above its necessary connection to its predecessors. This doggedly echoes the beats of the movie that inspired Creed, which was the latter-day continuation of Sylvester Stallone's Rocky boxing saga. Creed 2 again features Michael B. Jordan as boxer Adonis Creed, son of Rocky's old rival and friend, the late Apollo Creed. Stallone is also here, of course, as now-retired Philadelphia boxer turned trainer Rocky Balboa, a character that he created and continues to inhabit. And also Tessa Thompson is here as Adonis's hearing-impaired singer-songwriter girlfriend Bianca. While Adonis rises in the boxing ranks to championship level, Ivan Drago, the Russian boxer who killed Apollo Creed in the ring, is training his own son to fight Apollo's offspring, and you can see where this is going. There's a lot to unpack here about family and legacy, including the state of the relationship between Adonis and Bianca, and the issue of Rocky's estrangement from his own son. Ultimately, Creed 2 offers some great performances, including surprisingly good work from Dolph Lundgren in his return to the role of Ivan Drago, especially in A Quiet Scene with Stallone. It's a nice continuation of Creed's story and an uplifting movie despite the necessarily familiar beats. Ryan Coogler, who broke big by directing the first Creed, produced this one, probably because he's busy getting ready to shoot his second Black Panther movie. So Stephen Capel Jr. directs with a sure hand from a solid script co-written by Stallone, who is probably more at home in this world than the Hollywood life he earned with the success of the original Rocky movies. Now here comes the clinker, Robin Hood. It stars Taron Egerton as the noble thief of yore, the one who steals from the rich and gives to the poor, along with Jamie Foxx as, get this, a Moorish version of Little John. That's right, you heard me, Moorish John. Edgerton Fox and a cast of actors from the UK and Ireland, including Jamie Dornan as Will Scarlet and Ben Mendelsohn as Robin's arch nemesis, the greedy, tax-crazy sheriff of Nottingham, were convinced somehow that being in this bizarre, CGI-drenched retelling of the Robin Hood tale was a good idea. It wasn't. I mean, they all do some seriously shoddy or perfunctory work in what appears to be, I don't know, an other dimensional version of medieval times, or maybe a bad dinner theater version at a medieval times restaurant. An evening at the Renaissance Fair would feel more real than this. It's like video role-playing games of Robin Hood and Lord of the Rings were mashed with Call of Duty. I mean, the opening with Robin and his fellow Crusaders fighting Muslims in the Middle East is shot like the Hurt Locker. And back home, Nottingham looks like Middle-earth meets industrial Birmingham, circa the Peaky Blinders show. I mean, the sheriff wears a pearl gray leather duster, and there's a big party at the sheriff's place to celebrate the arrival of an evil cardinal played by F. Murray Abraham, and it looks like a cross between a bacchanal at the Great Gatsby's, the Eyes Wide Shut orgy, and an opening at Andy Warhol's factory. It's imbecilic with anachronisms and scenery chewing everywhere. Reminded me a bit of the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies, where Holmes and Watson are like an industrial age Batman and Robin. I mean, there are a couple moments of goofy fun here, but that is all. And this Robin is no Batman, as hard as they try to make him one. And when it comes to retelling the Robin Hood legend, holy misfire. We'll wrap things up with The Favorite, brilliantly acted, lushly appointed, and incredibly relevant in its treatment of political power plays, class conflict, and gender issues. The Favorite co-stars Rachel Weisz, Emma Stone, and Olivia Colman in a period piece that's set in 18th century England. The movie concerns the rivalry between the sickly Queen Anne's closest friend, advisor, and backroom policymaker, and frequent spokesperson, Lady Sarah, and Abigail, a new servant brought into the palace. It's the latest feature from a director named Yorgos Lanthimos, and he's the talented and adventurous creator of The Lobster and The Killing of a Sacred Deer. And to my mind, The Favorite is his best movie to date. Sarah and Abigail vie for the Queen's favor. The country is reeling from economic, social, and geopolitical effects of a war between France. That's a high-stakes situation for Lady Sarah and her army officer husband on the front lines. And so there's a lot here going on. The principal actors, Olivia Colman as Queen Anne, Rachel Weisz as Lady Sarah, and doing a serviceable British accent, Emma Stone as Abigail, bring these three women to vivid life in all their scheming, self-serving glory. One of my favorite films this year.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. My only suggestion is, if you've got Netflix, just an absolute gem of a show. There are 8 episodes. It's called The Kaminsky Method with Michael Douglas and Alan Arkin. And it is brilliant. It is just brilliant.
What's it about?
It's about 2 old guys getting old, and it's written by Chuck Lorre and produced by Chuck Lorre of Big Bang Theory and Mom and Mike and Molly and shows, 2.5 Men, shows like that. And this thing is just, it's ambrosia. It's really 8 wonderful episodes, which you can knock off in about an hour and a half. 2.5 hours, rather. It says shorter than an Avengers film. And cool. if this is something that is not to be missed, okay? So. All
right. Sounds good. Well, listen, have a great holiday. We'll hopefully be back next time. And you can catch me on Twitter at Culture Blaster and on Facebook at Michael Snyder's Culture Blast page.
Okay, and that's it for our movie reviews. And if you're listening to us 24/7, there's more GABNet coming right up.